Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? I hope you're well, I'm well. I'm a bit wriggly today, I'm a bit uncomfy, but we'll try and ignore that. I'll try not to wriggle. So today we're carrying on with our low spend year series. How are you all getting on? Are you managing to cut down on some of your costs? Are you managing to snaffle some of that money away into a savings account? I know it's harder than ever these days, isn't it? But it's more important than ever to really think about our purchases and keep that mantra. I'm going to bang on about this all year. Keep that mantra when you've either got something in your hand or you're looking at something online. Just ask yourself, do I really need it? And if you don't, walk away, don't buy it. So I'm going to try and talk about a couple of subjects today, try and squeeze them in, because one of them I kind of ought to have talked about when we were talking about clothes. Yeah, let's crack in. So I'm hopefully going to talk about, we're going to start with hair and beauty, but we're also going to talk about gifts and gifting today, hopefully, if there's time. So I'm going to just try to rattle through and share some ideas, and I know, because you're all canny people out there, that you will have tons of ideas of your own. Please feel free to share them with each other in the comments below. But yeah, let's start with hair and beauty. Well, you see, it's kind of easy for me because I'm naturally beautiful. No, I'm kidding. I just don't care that much. I don't care what people look like very much. I just want people to be healthy and happy. However, I do know that for a lot of people, let's start with hair, you know, the hair is really important to them. But one of the biggest savings you can make is to have a hairstyle that doesn't require the sort of high maintenance of having to go to a hairdresser every 6 or 8 weeks. And either that's the cut, maybe you've got lots and lots of layers. Can you wean yourself off going to the hairdresser quite so frequently? My hair's all one length, it means it's dead easy. I cut it myself. That's a huge saving for me. I used to have a fringe, always cut that myself. Have a go, it's worth a go. If you're not confident to cut it yourself, perhaps ask a friend too. Yeah, can I have to be quite trusting, because but generally I would say with sort of long one length hair, you can't really go wrong, you know, either with a friend doing it or yourself. It's worth a go, isn't it? It will require an investment initially of a good pair of scissors, proper hairdressing scissors. Don't be thinking about, where am I? Oh, mine aren't there. I normally have a pair of scissors on my desk that I use for cutting paper and tape for making parcels up. I wouldn't put that anywhere near my hair because it's really quite blunt. So some good, sharp hairdressing scissors and have a go yourself. Or, you know, if you've got really short hair, whether you're a bloke or a lass, you know, hair clippers. I don't know how much they cost, but again, it's one of those things where, yeah, it's an initial investment, but they should last. Hopefully they'd last forever, although I don't think anything's made these days to last forever. So think about ditching the high maintenance hairstyle and going for something more simple that you can have a go at trimming for yourself. Likewise, hair colour. Now, I've had great fun over the years colouring my hair. I would say sort of more in my 20s and my 30s, but you know, I've had every colour in the sort of the pink, red, orange range. Really, really orange at times. Now, I used to mostly dye my hair with henna, so it's a lovely natural product. Comes in a cardboard box, thinking about sustainability. But if you have been going to the hairdresser to have your hair dyed, again, it's one of those things, think about doing it at home. I don't know how much hair dye costs for doing it yourself at home, but it's bound to be cheaper than going to the hair salon to do it. And also, if you find a colour and brand that you really like, then you can look out, and if it's on offer, you can buy it. Oh, I don't know if it has expiry. Do they have expiry dates on them? I don't know, if they don't have an expiry date, if they're on offer, you can buy them in bulk, reduce the price a little bit more. But what would reduce the price even more, and it's what I do, is just don't do any colouring of your hair. I mean, I think hair, uncoloured, hair in its natural state, healthy, shiny, untouched hair is the most beautiful thing in the world, way more beautiful than any kind of colouring. So, and I know there's going to be a lot of you, hang on, I'm going to have a glug of water. The prospect of not dyeing your hair would fill you with horror, because one of the reasons you're dyeing it is to cover up your greys. And obviously it's a hugely personal thing. I think it's also a societal thing as well, that I think particularly for women, we are so conditioned that, I don't want to get too political, but it is a kind of political thing. We're so conditioned that our value is in our looks rather than what's going on in here, that we feel we're not allowed to age. We are simply not allowed to get old and frumpy or whatever. Men are. You know, if you look at, you know, TV, movies, in the newspaper, whatever, if you, you know, you will see 70-year-old, 60-year-old, 50-year-old men and upwards, you will see them everywhere with their natural hair colour. Yeah, there's a handful that dye it, but generally you will see men over 50 with their own natural hair colour. You look at women over 50 and how many of them do we see with their own natural hair colour? See what I'm saying? So yeah, it's I've got greys coming through. I've got one right in the middle and it's coming through, it's grey. I mean, it's white actually, it's not even grey, and it's got a wiggle to it. It's coming out wiggly. It's like, yay, I'm finally getting curly hair. I've had to turn grey to get curls. I embrace my grey. I've got little flecks coming through on the sides here. I embrace it because I feel like, you know what, I've earned it. I've earned the right to be going grey. I've lived a life and it's starting to show. Brilliant. So yeah, embrace your natural hair colour. I think if you've been dyeing your hair a particularly dark colour, you know, verging towards really dark brown or even black for years and years and years, firstly, your skin tone colour changes as you age. It's probably not really suiting your skin tone anymore. But it might be really quite horrific to think about, you know, if you've had really dark hair, dyed it really dark, to grow it out, it's going to be, oh my goodness, such a shock. I think that's one of those occasions when you could talk to a hairdresser about, can you dye your hair again, but a much, much softer colour, one that's more in line with your natural greying colour, so that you can grow it out and it's less of a stark contrast. Be brave. Your grey is beautiful. Yeah, I know for a lot of folk that idea is just absolutely hideous to them, and it's one of, you know, it's such a personal thing, isn't it? Because we have so much of our confidence is bound up in how we look. Again, it's back to that conditioning thing. And I would say for me, I think maybe in the last 5 years, I think it's all been part of this process of going wage free and living more true to myself, how I just feel like I don't need to do any of that now. I'm free to be me, and I'm happy being me, and I'm healthy for the most part. So I don't need all that. I have confidence to not do all that, but I realise, like I said, I know that some people will struggle with that, but maybe start thinking about it. Because even if you are home dyeing to cover up grey, it's still costing you, isn't it? My hair care for the entire year costs me about 10 quid, and that's for shampoo. So also on hair, we might have to do gifts a different day because there's quite a lot to talk about hair and beauty. I switched to solid bar shampoos about crikey, I don't know how long it is. It's 10 years, possibly more. And the thing at the time I remember was I couldn't find a solid bar conditioner. So I was really strict. I said, no more bottles. If there's no solid bar conditioner, you're just going to have the shampoo. And I was amazed that, well, pretty much straight away, I noticed, well, I don't need a conditioner. Now again, I know there are going to be some of you who think, I absolutely must have a conditioner because my hair is frizzy or curly or whatever it is. Yeah, I get it. Some of you will not be able to, or will just not want to give up a conditioner. But have an experiment, have a go without. Because again, I think, I'm going to use the word conditioned. I think we're conditioned by advertising to think that we absolutely have to have both. I know I was. I thought for years that I had to condition my hair. I did. I think I've been conditioning my hair since I was maybe 16 or something. Don't need it. I did recently get a hair conditioning bar because my hair was getting tangled, but you might not remember from a previous video, that was because my hairbrush had lost all its spikes. It just wasn't getting through my hair, of course. But now I've got the new hairbrush, don't need conditioner again. The condition of our hair, it starts from within, of course, as well, doesn't it? So if you're eating a good, healthy, well-balanced diet, as the phrase is, then hopefully your hair reflects that. So yeah, think about, just try a few washes, ditch the conditioner. You can, of course, make your own final rinses for your hair if you're concerned about the soap residue remaining in your hair. I think I've done videos on this ages ago, but for example, in the summer and the autumn, calendula petals or chamomile into a teapot, steep it like you would tea, let it cool down a bit. Obviously you don't want scalding water on your head, but I make that up just before I wash my hair. So by the time I've done my washing, that's cooled down a bit. Final rinse, any soapy residue is gone. Lovely. Sparkly clean hair, squeaky clean. In the winter, I don't know, I kind of think of them as the two seasons. You could do one all year, it doesn't matter. But in the winter, rosemary or sage, again, make up a tea. With the rosemary and sage, slightly crush them in the pestle and mortar first, just to help them release their oils. Sage is supposed to be great for grey hair, not in terms of colouring it, but in terms of keeping it a nice, bright, clean grey, rather than that sort of dirty grey. I don't know how else to put it. Yeah, but a nice, bright, clean grey. So maybe experiment with making some of your own hair rinses too. And the thing about all of this is there is tons of stuff online now, whether it's YouTube, blogs, library books about making homemade hair and beauty products that are so cheap to make, and we're using far less ingredients in these products. I'm going to talk about my body in a second, but we're using less ingredients, less chemicals. It's all far more sustainable. And as I've mentioned a few times now in this series, so much of my frugality and where I'm not spending and saving money, it's originally was being born out of, firstly, not having much money ever, but also from wanting to live a more sustainable, ethical, green, however you want to put it, life. So yeah, have an experiment with ditching the conditioner. Now, I don't know how much a bottle of conditioner costs and how many you get through a year. And it's small stuff, isn't it? It's like, well, maybe I'm only spending £3 or £4 a year on conditioner. But all these little things, once we can ditch all of these little things, suddenly it's like, oh, actually, just on my hair alone, I'm saving on by not going to the hairdressers. I'm not dyeing my hair anymore. I'm not using conditioner. Suddenly it's like, that might be £100 over the course of a year. My figure's always going to be a bit like, what? Where did she get that figure from? Because I'm out of touch. Of course I am. It's just for example. Now, I was mentioning about the body stuff. I keep it really, really, really simple. Occasionally I get gifted, you know, bath type products, you know, smellies for Christmas. Of course I use them, lovely, thank you. But generally speaking, I just use calendula oil on my body and on really dry areas, sometimes if my hands are feeling a bit chapped, or, you know, my lips. Occasionally I get a little tiny bit of a sort of psoriasis in my hairline right down here, and on one of my eyebrows, stress related. I use my Calendula Balm. They're so easy to make. I mean, they're just, I was going to say it's child's play. I know that some of you, there are videos for that, maybe I'll try and remember to link them. I know a load of you who've done it with your grandchildren. That's how easy it is to make this stuff. The ingredients, well, I grow my calendula, so that's free. The seed is free because I'm saving it every year. So the things I buy are the oil and beeswax. But again, you know, shop around, you can buy in bulk, maybe buy in bulk and share it with a friend. If you know, you've got a friend who's like-minded, if you want to have a mammoth oil and balm making session, buy it in bulk, split the costs, dead cheap. And again, we're not putting a load of chemicals on our body. Makeup. Now, I do wear a bit of makeup when I'm making a video. A bit of eyeliner, a bit of mascara. Purely, that's a communication tool. We communicate so much with our faces. Our eyes are really important. That's our kind of like big communicator. So I pick out my eyes when I don't pick out my eyes, picking out my eyes, as in I highlight my eyes with a tiny bit of makeup for when I'm making videos. But that's it. And how much do each of those things cost? And they last me, they last probably from the point of view of hygiene too long. I bought a new mascara in January. My old one was was kind of running out a bit. I hadn't gone out to buy mascara. I'd gone into my local branch of Boots for some pain meds. And when I was there, it was in their kind of sale basket. I wasn't fussed about brand. I wasn't fussed about, is it going to volumize? Is it going to lengthen? I wasn't fussed about any of that. My eyelashes are so ridiculously pale, you wouldn't see them without mascara. So it doesn't matter what it is, just any old mascara will do. Got it in their kind of sale basket for £3.50. It'll last a year, it'll last longer than a year. So yeah, I think makeup is another one, like hair for women. And I know some of you guys wear makeup, so I don't mean this to be a gender biased video, but I guess I am talking more to the female of the species today. I know that a lot of my viewers, a lot of you lovely folk in La La Land are female, but makeup, oh my goodness, do we really need it? I get the confidence thing, I do understand that too, like I was saying about the hair, that, you know, you may feel like that your skin is, you know, in such a terrible state that you have to cover it in foundation and what have you. I'm willing to bet though that you think all your flaws, you think about them and no one else does, or you see them like they're 100% awful, and someone else may say, yeah, don't really notice. So again, maybe experiment with just wearing a little bit less makeup. I literally never wear it unless I'm filming. So, in fact, some of my allotment friends have clocked on to it now. If I've got a flick of eyeliner on, they go, "Oh, you're filming today?" They know now that it's for filming. But yeah, if you've been spending a lot of money on makeup, firstly, come back to the do I really need it? Maybe get all your makeup beauty bits out later today and have a look at everything and think, and if you've got more than one mascara in your bag, you're spending too much on makeup. You only need one mascara. You only need one eyeliner. You might, if you wear lipstick, you might want a couple of different shades of lippy depending on what outfit you're going to wear. But really, I mean, is anyone going to sort of point at you in the street and go, ah, your lipstick doesn't match your top? Oh, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So perhaps experiment with going out sometimes. If you wear makeup every single day, maybe next time you go to the garden, go without any. Is that a step too far for some of you? Or maybe just keep it really minimal. Just do your eyes, but don't do foundation, don't do your lips. See if you can wean yourself off wearing so much makeup. And I'm not having a go at people who wear loads of makeup. Everyone does what they want to do, everyone does what they need to do to feel confident, what have you. I'm purely talking about this in money saving terms, and again, it's not a huge amount of money. Well, actually some people do massively overspend. I've seen it in the media on makeup, but it's just another area where, yeah, we could probably all do with quite a bit less than we've been accustomed to doing with. Oh, just back to hair, I was just looking at notes then, of course. So with hair, of course, and I think you could probably do it with makeup to a degree as well, but with hair, check out in your area if there are any hairdressing schools. So, years ago, I was at uni, it's when I was back at uni the first time, one of my besties at uni always got her hair cut at the Vidal Sassoon school. So she got a haircut for free. And obviously these are trainee hairdressers, but they're supervised. They're not just let loose. She used to come away with the most amazing haircuts, colours. It's brilliant. All for free. So yeah, check out if there's a hairdressing school. I couldn't even what to call it then. I was going to call it beauty school. I was thinking of Frenchie from Greece, beauty school dropout. But yeah, maybe with like beauty schools. I don't know if such things exist. But it might be worth looking into and just going and having a bit of fun, letting someone play on your face for the day or for a morning. And maybe if you've got an event coming up, and you can do it so that you can get your freebie in the morning and you go out in the afternoon. Brilliant. Also, some hairdressers, look out in their windows. Sometimes they say model required. And again, get your hair cut for free. Now, you have to be careful to make sure, you'll have to have a conversation with them that they don't want to do something completely mad and wacky to your hair that you would hate. Yeah, a freebie isn't necessarily a good thing. But yeah, check out beauty schools, hair salons. Also, it's not something I do, but things like like manicures and pedicures. That's a fortune. I don't think many of you would be doing that kind of thing anyway. But ditch the nail varnish. Nobody needs. Our own natural fingernails are beautiful. Let's nurture our these natural things. I've just cut mine massively short. I try and keep my nails really short. It's practical for the garden. It's just practical in life. But again, if you really feel like you can't go without your manicures and pedicures, see if there's a beauty school, something like that, where people are wanting to practice. Checking your local places again if they want someone as a model. That might be they're quite fussy about hand models, aren't they? About who they'll use. But yeah, it's back to the same thing with makeup and dye, is just think about going without. Do you really need to put all those chemicals on your fingernails? Well, you know what my stand is, obviously, because that's quite negative speak, isn't it? Do you really need the chemicals? But yeah, maybe that's something that you could go without. Years ago, I'm going to talk body hair now, yay! It's all the nitty gritty today. I do remove the hair on my legs, the hairs on my legs. Look, again, it's a personal choice, you know, how much hair you remove, how much you leave. I have tussled with myself since my teens that I'm being anti-feminist by removing my hair. I know, I still have those teenage arguments in my head. I was such a strident little brat when I was 16. I still am a brat, I know. But yeah, that's my personal choice. I remove my leg hair. And that's it. Now, years ago, I invested in a little Epilator, a little, you know, it's one of these things where the little wheels go round, and as they go round and round, they're on an angle, so they kind of pull, they whip the hair out, they yank it out. I must have bought that about 30 years ago. I bought it on sale. I can't remember how much it was, but it felt like quite an expensive thing to buy at the time. I think it was about £20, which was quite a lot of money. But that's it. It's a one-off purchase, and it's still, you know, doing great for me. So I don't need to go to a salon to have anyone whipping my hair out. If you are a fan of waxing and you've never tried it at home, you know, do it at home. I have done that in the past as well, on myself, tried it, given it a go. Worked fine. But the Epilator has been absolutely brilliant. And I mean, literally every time I use it, I think, you're free. This is free treatment. You know, it more than paid for itself years ago. Yeah, so think about all these things that we do where we go to someone else and ask them to do it to us. Can I do it for myself? Or can I get a friend to do it to me? This might get a bit racy. Can I get a friend to do it to me? I'm talking about the haircut and hair dyeing. If I can do it myself, what equipment, is there a piece of equipment I can buy as a one-off, like a really good pair of scissors, like the Epilator? Can I buy a bit of kit? Yes, it's an investment, but that's going to last for years and years and years, so I'm not having to buy, say, you know, disposable razors. And we really, 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 in this day and age, we really need to be moving away from anything that's got the word disposable in its title. Things to think about. I realise I've rattled on for ages, so we'll do gifts and gifting another day. Yeah, we'll do it another day. We'll do it now. I'm looking at we'll do it next month. Lots to think about, and I think the main thing, I suppose the main message, in a way, not that I'm doing the message, but you know what I'm saying, is that in a way, it's kind of like, you know, when we were talking about food and doing our food swaps, and we're kind of swapping down in terms of cheaper and cheaper and cheaper brands. It's kind of like the same with our sort of hair and beauty, except it's not brands. It's that thing of swapping down from someone else doing it, and we pay that person, to doing it ourselves. You know, haircuts, hair dyeing, all that kind of thing, to swapping down to the thing of just not bothering at all. Let our crowning glories be our crowning glories by just being healthy, natural, beautiful hair. For example, healthy, natural, beautiful nails. So wherever you are at the scale, if you've been quite high maintenance, let's say, and I say it in the nicest way, is maybe just think about just a little bit less. And also, I was just mentioning earlier about go and fetch out your makeup bags to see exactly what's in there. We could also do the same with all our toiletries and perfume. I don't wear perfume. I smell lovely. I smell of, I was going to say vegetable gardening, but that's kind of horse muck and chicken muck, isn't it? I don't smell of anything. I mean, I don't smell bad, but I don't have that, you know, I don't walk into a room and people go, I don't have a chemical smell. That's nice. So yeah, have a look at maybe have a look at all your toiletries and your bits and bobs. That can be your project for this afternoon or this evening. And have that frank talk with yourself about when you see everything, get it all grouped together and think, you know, I've got 17 half-used bottles of shampoo, I've got 26 bottles of conditioner, I've got 7 mascaras in my makeup bag, I've got, you know, 59 eyeshadows, 79 lipsticks, whatever. See it all amassed together to hopefully make you realise that you just don't need, nobody needs that much. And make a promise to yourself that if you have got that much of everything, you do not need to buy anything probably for a year. Could you do that? If you didn't buy any toiletries, makeup, beauty products whatsoever, could you go without buying anything for the next year? I could, because I've got a couple of bars of shampoo and my makeup will last me, and then I'll go to the garden. I've got some almond oil. Yeah, I've got enough almond oil, and then I'll go to the garden and get some calendula petals or other bits and bobs. Yeah. Ditch the dye. There's quite a famous actress, I think, has done. Is it Andie MacDowell? I saw a picture of her I was online, I was closing out of my email, and it always goes onto the MSN news site, which is usually rubbish. It's a bit salacious and gossipy and scaremongery. That must have been where I saw it, but I saw a picture of her and she's got her natural hair colour. She looked magnificent, utterly magnificent. So yeah, let's take a lead from Andie MacDowell and embrace our beautiful, beautiful, well-earned bits of grey. Okay, I'm going to wrap up. I'm sorry for any of the chaps who do tune in if this was a bit girl-centric, but that is a reflection of the society we still live in, and I would like to lead the charge in a way, in my own little way here, of saying, you know, don't judge me by how I look. Judge me by my deeds, judge me by my thoughts and my brain, and, you know, hopefully my looks don't scare anyone. But yeah, I'm not, this outside of me is not me. Me is in here, and that's what I embrace for myself, and that's what I share with my friends, not this. Right, I will see you all again really soon. I think probably back in the garden, probably getting filthy and happy again, and there'll be a little chatty chat session coming up too, because I want to tell you some lovely little tales of things that have been happening recently. But whenever it is, I will see you then. Until then, please stay well, stay safe, stay happy, stay away from the dye. I'm challenging you, ditch that dye. Go on, I dare you, you can do it. Cheerio, lovelies.